Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give it another minute to let some people join us, and then we'll get started here. Got a few
I
more
had a
people coming in.
perfect.
All right, well, let's get going. I want to welcome you to the AAMA Annual Meeting, Why You Can't Miss This Event webinar. This is a product of our location owner operator team. And so we're thankful to them for putting this together and bringing these industry experts together for a really great conversation. A couple housekeeping matters before we get started. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll be monitoring those and get to them as we can throughout the call or the webinar. And if you have not already registered to sponsor or attend the event, those links are available on the AAMA website at coin-op.org. I'll put that in the chat also as we're on the webinar. And this recording will be available following the event. So if you want to rehash it, rewatch it, share it with your friends and family, that would be great. Today we are joined by Elise Glover of Roller. Roller is a sponsor of the event. Thank you, Elise.
Yeah.
Dennis McIntyre, B&B Theaters. Doug Meckling from Star Lanes Polaris, the 2026 AAMA FEC of the Year. And Jim Dupree from Smart Industries, along with our AAMA Board President, Beth Stanley of Trainertainment, the Growth Pro Group. I'm going to turn it over to Beth.
Thanks, Tina. I'm so glad that you all are here and that you've decided to take a few minutes to spend time with us. This annual meeting is such an exciting event. We moved it to Dallas last year and we're going to hold it at the Warwick again. This hotel is a beautiful boutique space that Tina has done a fantastic job negotiating a great rate for our members to come hobnob with each other. It is a great hobnobbing experience and tons to learn. I want to share these people with you because they had such an interesting, profound experience last year. I want to throw it to you first off, Doug, because I just love the epiphany you had about, I don't know, 30 minutes into the event about not bringing your partner, your brother with you. So if in one sentence, if in one sentence, why are you coming back to Dallas this year? Because I think you were one of the first ones that registered, and you're bringing some more folks with you this year. Talk to us
I
about your
only get
experience.
one sentence.
You can go many sentences. Go,
Okay.
Doug.
One,
It's a good
Doug.
All
story. It's a
right.
good
I
story.
can't do one sentence. Okay. So yeah, I'll try to contain this one, but I was not sure what this was about when I got. I think I told you Scott Schaefer is the one who kind of poked me and said, "Hey, you should come to this meeting. We're trying to get the vendors together with the operators and everybody together." Ultimately, here's my take on it. And what I didn't really realize going there was that, that we are all, if you're a service provider, a vendor, an operator, the end user is all the same. And so for us to all collectively be together in the room and find out what's happening on the distributing side or what's happening on the tech side, if it's point of sale, whatever, and then how that impacts and the end user through us, right? Through the operators. And so it's just connecting the circle. And I think that there are, everybody in this industry, what I love is that everybody's open to sharing information. And so even though I'm a customer of the vendors here, technically, I'm understanding what some of their challenges are, and I'm understanding what some of their, uh, you know, any issues that they have, things that they're trying to do to grow as well. So it was early on into it that like you said, I realized like this is something I kind of wasn't fully sure about, and then I realized this is a good thing for my team to be there. So this year I'm going to bring a couple of folks with me, as you said. Yes.
Yeah, it was great. I can remember where we were standing and you looked at me and you were like, "Oh, I told Jeff he didn't need to come to this. I
Yeah,
was wrong." Jeff is his brother and his partner in business.
yeah.
Is there anything you felt like you were able to implement or utilize in your quest for FEC of the year that you got with your connections there at the annual meeting? And I can't even remember if we'd already picked it by then or not. Seems like the applications were due prior to the event,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anything?
I mean, I think that, for me as an operator, I'm always looking at what other operators are doing. And there is a gentleman on the phone, Dennis, that, what they're doing out there in Dallas, with B&B theaters out there was super impressive to me. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that it just, it's kind of fine tuning what you're doing, right? And
Yeah.
for us, it's always about, finding what's going on out there, what are others doing, and not necessarily copying it, but coming back and saying, how can we do
How does it
this
apply?
better? Yeah. So, I mean, I can't pinpoint just one thing. There was a bunch, and there's a lot of great ideas floating around.
That's awesome. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Doug. Jim, smart sponsored at a tip top level. How did you guys make a decision to do that? And what's bringing you back to Dallas this year?
Well, we've been a long time participant
Make the creative
of.
juices flow and get us excited about what we're doing.
Gotta love technology. Thank
If
you.
he's
So we
breaking
just
up.
got that last
There you
bit,
are.
Doug. Go ahead, Jim.
Doug, you want to finish up? Sorry about that.
He did. We just got it later. He had said it and then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. When the gala started a long time ago, we were early in on that, and I think we were one of the first vendors with that first thing in Chicago. And a lot of times when you see something new like that, the opportunities are unknown.
Right.
And we looked at the way they were representing the gala and said, this actually could be something. I think I told Pete that last year. I think this actually might be something very good. And I don't think we made our decision right away, but I was looking at how you were presenting it, what was being presented. And, Jeff and I had a discussion. And I said, I think this is going to be an event that's going to be something that people is going to remember and that we should step in and be a part of this.
That's great. That's great. That's great. What are you looking forward to most this year?
Well, I think you come to these events and you get opportunities to get with people that you don't get to talk to a lot. A lot of our business is through our distributors, so a lot of times getting FaceTime with some people that we don't talk to quite a bit, there's a lot of value in that. But then there's other extended parts of that. I had a chance to get with our lobbyist one-on-one last year. I met him at the elevator and he gave me his time and we had a very good conversation. And it was very unexpected, where you can
Yes.
get information. And I
Yeah.
was ready to jump on the elevator. He said, no, let's have a chat. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to talk then. And we were talking about some of the things that we're facing, some challenges, things he didn't mention on the stage. And so getting that insight, getting like I said, the FaceTime, you get a lot of input from people. And it affects our decision making. Some of the new products
Yes.
we've already introduced this year, they came out of discussions from last year about what people are
Wow.
telling us they're looking for. So,
That's
and so
fantastic.
we look for that when we come to these things. That's what we're looking for is the insight of what can you use, what do you need.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jim. That's super exciting and kind of addresses one of those questions that, like in my series of questions here. And please, if you're watching, don't hesitate to put your question in the chat box. Your questions are more important than ours, probably. But the thing that, like, what are you doing this year? Based on what you learned last year. So that's incredibly exciting that you were able to take from those conversations and it informed what you all are doing this year. I don't know where you can get that intimate of an experience so that you can have that great of an impact. Miss Elise,
Hello.
I want to throw it to you, and I'm curious to know what you're most excited about seeing this year, and I would love you to share your experience of last year, because I know
Yeah,
it literally brought a tear to her eye. So would you just share that with
it's
the
true.
audience
It is
today?
very
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I think Beth is just excited that somebody else brought the tears to the situation. So
It's not just me. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm excited to share that. For me, I had never been in the past. I was always very curious about it and would ask, and some reason or another, I wasn't able to attend. And I got the opportunity to serve on the committee that helps to plan the event. And obviously, I had to go. So we went, and I brought actually one of my coworkers who's local to Dallas, and um, Doug, you kind of inspired me just now, even by saying, the end user is the same for all of us. And you're totally right. For me, my favorite part of being at events, and this one highlighted this in an exponential way, was the time that I got to really understand from your perspective, from Jim's perspective, from Dennis's perspective, from everyone's. I felt like I walked away with like a really deep understanding of where not even just the industry was, but where we were as individuals. And it gave me a great insight of things. It felt like it was genuinely this harmonious, collaborative effort for our
Mm.
industry as a whole. And so the moment Beth was referring to is as I was leaving, I was going to the airport, I gave her a hug and just started crying because I enjoyed the time. Like I felt like I was walking away with so much more. It wasn't sales leads. Um, it wasn't even, MQLs for my team to email and try to sell to. It felt like a genuine effort for the nonprofit side of things and everything. So this year, I think I'm looking forward to being in the room with all the people that either missed out on that last year or did experience that last year and want to bring it back again. We have amazing content planned for the show, and we have great facilities that we'll be visiting. And I know that we're going to bring even more people to experience what we got to have last year. So I think that's my main thing. And then if you're on the bus with Beth and I, you'll have to sing karaoke. But other
We
than
got to
that,
find bus. We got to find bus.
yeah,
As
Dennis
long
is
as I
clearly
can
not on the
sing
bus with
tequila.
Okay. So we got to
True.
bring tequila as well. Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's
that's
just
the
no,
secret.
Jim.
So
I'm local. I'm local. I can make anything happen, baby. Just ask and you shall
exactly.
receive. That's it. That's
Exactly.
it.
So, I mean, my team's actually kind of like bickering over who gets to be the one that comes with me because after the experience we had last year, they can't wait. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Dennis, you were so generous. You were one of the places that we visited last year in the tour, and the tour is a must go to thing. B&B Theaters out in Red Oak is maybe one of the top three most beautiful facilities I think I've ever been in.
Thank you.
And I've been into a lot. And you were quite generous with the behind the scenes tour. That was very exciting. My question to you though is you go everywhere. I see you at Cine shows. I see you at IAPA. I see you at both. I mean, you you are a learner. You are a connector. You obviously value that part of the world, and I admire that because
Thank you.
you've been in business a long time, and I think sometimes those of us have been in business a long time think we already know it all, and what are we going to get out of, that's just another one of those events. And because you have all this experience in all these different spaces, can you talk about why you prioritize this particular
Yeah.
event? What makes it different, Dennis?
Well, thanks, Beth, and thanks, Doug, for the kind words. So we loved having everybody there. I mean, it's a fun building to show off. It
Yeah.
is just, we did a good thing there, and so we were happy to have everybody. And I will say, Beth, as far as the trips go, me being in a lot of stuff, Mary Pat, my wife, has a very strict rule on how many days in a row I can be home. And it was an empty suitcase right next to my bedstand, and then it slowly gets a little more less subtle after that. But I will tell you, it dawned on me, and I hadn't really thought about it until the last couple of days as we were talking about all this. This is the only event that I know of where there is no product there. You go
Oh,
to
yeah.
IAPA, you go to Amusement 360, you go to Amusement Expo, and there's product there, and so everybody's trying to sell you something. And at All Access, you end up with this networking, but they're selling you on their company, on themselves, on how they do things. I mean, honestly, I don't know that we ever had a conversation about a particular game, with the exception of one really cool experience where I was sitting and talking to John Rouse from Brunswick, and Gary Stern came walking over, and I got to
Oh,
talk pinball machines with Gary Stern. That was
with
pretty cool.
Stern, yeah, yeah.
That was really cool. So it's unique in that matter. It is designed to get people talking, and not to get people selling and get people buying. And obviously, in the end, that's what Jim wants to do. He wants to sell a
Yes,
bunch of stuff. But ultimately, for me, I'm going to buy from the people I like, that I want to work with, that have great product. They've still got to meet it, but if I know that Smart's going to stand behind their equipment, and I know who to call, that's golden for me. So
that's right. Well, I have this theory, people buy from people, and that great connection. I wish I had a book. Oh, get the book. Thank you. Yes, Dennis, shameless plug. There
I
you
gotta
go.
find
Oh,
which
yeah, put
camera.
it right
Oh,
in front of your
I'm muted
face.
out.
Put it in
So
front of your
it's
face.
right
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah, put it by
okay.
your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
in
There
front
you
of your
go, Tina.
face.
Perfect. Perfect. No, I do think that that's right, and I do think we're buying off on each other's relationships, and I feel like that the word intimacy is just what makes us special and really different. It can be really overwhelming in a great big space. And by the way, Mr. Smart from Smart Industry and Mr. Stern from Stern Pinball and like those are the folks that are in the room. So it's fantastic. Um,
Beth, something I
yes,
was going to just add super quick. We Something else that I think is unique to this one is the time that the vendors get with each other.
yes, yes,
We don't normally get that kind of time.
we don't.
So I even found that I got to spend like a lot of time with, Sarah from Embed
Right.
and, Linda from Intercard and different people where
Yeah,
like when we're at shows and stuff, we don't get time to do that.
we don't.
So there was actually a solid benefit even in that as well.
Well, of course, we that those are referral. We're a big referral based network. We don't just share ideas; we share each other. So, hey, listen, and I'll throw this to all of you. If a member, if somebody's not a member and they want to come, they need to join. If they're a location and a special local location, we do have some guest passes, don't we, Tina?
We do. Yes.
Um, if somebody's on the fence, because I know things are expensive and people have to decide how they're going to spend their money and things like that, how would they justify? And how do you justify the time? I'm local, so I just got to drive across town. But for somebody who's not driving across town, how would you uh, get yourself off the fence or share with somebody else why they ought to get off the fence and come on. And Tina, I'll throw that right out to you to begin with, because this was a big stretch for our staff. We had this thing in Chicago for ever and ever and ever, and it made it much easier to deploy and deliver on our staff. And what can you say about the move the last couple of years and the impact that you think it had, and how would you get somebody off the fence
Well, I
if
think
they're willing?
the reference I use is that we shook the Etch-a-Sketch. And
Yeah,
that was pretty exciting. We Brian Cohen leading that committee and really, Brian is a bull in a china shop,
Yeah.
and we love that because, he had some really great ideas and wasn't afraid to execute them. And he built a really great team to help us all along across last year's um, you know, end zone, and so it was really exciting in that way. Yeah, it was a little stressful because we weren't right there in in the Dallas metro area as we were going through planning. But I think to kind of add on to what Jim was saying earlier, I think one of the greatest benefits is, we went from being in, a Hilton or Marriott big property where we were one of several groups on property to being in kind of a small boutique hotel in Dallas and pretty upscale. And
Hmm.
to Jim's point, there weren't many places that you could go that you weren't with someone from our conference. I mean, we pretty much
That's
took
right.
over the hotel. So anywhere that you were waiting for an elevator or getting a cup of coffee or just wandering a hall, enjoying the little bit of outside air before you got too hot, you were surrounded by people that you could have those organic conversations with, and that's not something that you can plan.
Yeah.
We can bring everybody together and create spaces for those opportunities to take place, but I think that all of those pieces worked really well together for that perfect opportunity to bring people together and have those conversations, as Jim was talking about.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, Doug, what would you say to somebody if they're sitting on the fence about coming?
I'd say go.
Yeah.
Do it. I
It's
think
Do
I
that
it.
think like I
simple.
think like what Tina was just saying was, that you don't know, and I know everybody else has said this too. You don't know who you're going to run into. I mean, it was a pretty exciting. We had that first dinner in the bar, with the library bar,
Yeah.
and what was at that time the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese came
Yeah.
out and spoke to us, and he's now the CEO of Topgolf, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, you there, I would just kind of say go and don't miss things. Look at the itinerary and be a part of it. So I
And
wouldn't I
Awesome.
wouldn't hesitate.
And to think about that, Doug, like how approachable was he too,
Yeah,
David? I
absolutely.
mean,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
there to talk to everybody and mingle and
I
yeah,
didn't
how
even
cool
know he
is
was
that?
going to be there. I didn't even know who. I didn't even look at the agenda. I don't think. I think I was, and so
Well,
I
no
was like, well,
wonder you
this.
were
I was like,
surprised.
this guy's pretty good. I was like, who is this? And I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is cool. So,
He
um,
came on blind faith.
yeah,
How lucky were you? Doug came on blind faith because his friends said, "Hey, you got to go to this." How many of
yeah.
us have done that before? I know I
Too
have.
Last
So
many
I'm
year,
your
times.
friend. I'm telling you got to come.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis, how would you move Mary Pat off the fence if she was telling you not to go spend the money?
oh, well, first of all, she's never going to do that. It's I build on what Doug said. You have to be engaged. The multiplier, I started playing with that idea and I thought, is it a multiple of three? Is it a multiple of five? It's probably a multiple of a dozen. If you
Oh,
engage, you listen, you talk to people, and then you implement what they're
yeah,
talking.
yeah.
It's just that simple. There were so many little nuggets, from the power of one to the lobbyists to the different things like that. And I'm excited to see what I get to learn this week. But it doesn't work. By nature, I'm not the karaoke guy. By nature, I'm perfectly happy sitting in the middle of the crowd, listening and
Yeah.
lightly engaging. But I found in those settings, the more you engage, the more you get out of it. Um,
Amen. Yeah,
Something,
yeah.
something I would say too is, there were some very good educational experiences. The the key one that really caught me, and for somebody who doesn't go or is thinking about not going, the AI presentation last year. What people need to realize, and most of us know, things are changing fast.
Yes.
Things are changing really fast. And, your ability to adapt to those changes comes from a lot of conversations at events like this, where you can talk to people. How are you dealing with this? What are you doing there? What do you think you'll do next year? Are you going to use that? The guy giving the AI presentation, before he gave the presentation, he was talking, but after the presentation, how many of you are going to try to use AI? And probably 80% of the hands went up because
Yeah.
they had an understanding of how there's benefits. So I think that's an added extra to this, that, there are some opportunities at these events that help help your business and the people around you.
Boy, agreed, agreed. Well, Elise, how would you move somebody off the fence, girl?
I mean, everybody's got the different thing that holds them back, but this event, like I said, just I think most people that know me know I'm at a lot of events throughout the year. It's literally my job. And this is one that I'm so looking forward to. I felt like I came away from it feeling like I felt different coming away from it. And I felt like I was part of something. So that alone was something valuable. And like Jim, you hit the nail on the head. Like, but I don't know that everybody would say the same session. Like, I think that
Mhm.
everyone had something that spoke to them, and that's what's kind of
Yeah.
really cool about it and part of the focus when the agenda is being built out. um, I didn't say it in my initial one, but like even the site visits were super insightful, and the level of like involved they got us. Dennis, like you guys took us so deep into what you do, the history and
Mhm.
the immersion and some of the things you guys were doing. Like I can practically like I think I could close my eyes and still walk through your location. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was really, it was, you really let us in. So I think that that's really what it is. I felt like I was a part of something. So I think our industry, I talk about it every chance I can get with anyone that'll listen, but the biggest, like, like strength of our industry is the willingness to share and the community in it. And like, I call it our power up, a little
Oh,
play
yeah.
on video games, but like that is like that's our thing. And this event is based on how we can lift each other up. It's really just very industry focused. So
Yeah, there was a
that would be
ton
my
of,
way.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, thank you. There was a ton of thought and energy put into calling it an all access event. And I think that does really
Mhm.
capture it's every constituent, it's the whole ecosystem that makes up the industry that serves the consumer that comes in the door. I think, Doug, is that who you're referring to as the end user, as the
Yeah,
customer that
correct.
comes in the
Yeah.
door?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a big heavy lift right now. I have to think I'm at a quarterly planning session today, and we're talking a ton about how to drive foot traffic. And so we've got an exciting marketing segment to share with you. We've got an exciting AI session. I mean, it's on and on and on. And things are TED Talk. There, it's not sit and get. You guys are not coming. Brian Cohen, our lead for the team that put this together, he hates for us to even call it education because it's something beyond that. It's must know, go implement tomorrow. I mean, it's just that big of a deal. So,
And
hey
Beth, I'll
girls,
share as we're putting the FEC tours and things,
oh,
all of that together. While we'll still be visiting a traditional center, we do have some maybe non-traditional new types of attractions that we're going to be taking the group to, and showing them around, getting some behind the scenes on some other types of attractions that you might not see in a traditional center.
we have so much entertainment here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and we've got manufacturers. It's like we want you to stay for 2 weeks so we can show you everybody and everything, but we know that would be a silly kind of commitment, but we'll jam pack it full, as much as we can. Any particular questions from the audience? Is there any particular feedback? I've got lots of questions, but I'm curious, is there any particular feedback that each one of you want to make sure you go on record as you encourage? Like, if you thought about, if you don't come, you're going to miss X, and you won't want to miss that. I mean, besides getting to hang out with all of us, which would be a big deal in and of itself. Is there anything that you want to contribute here that maybe I haven't asked you a question so that you can get it in?
I think something I would be remiss to not note is the hotel is incredible.
Oh, yes, 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 yes,
For a
yes,
lot of
yes.
the places that we end up staying at these shows and stuff, the hotel is amazing. The staff is incredible. So the experience itself, like, felt like a treat. Like I'm trying to make sure my husband can come with me this year or something along
Yeah.
those lines. It just felt like I don't know, just it felt like a retreat almost.
Well, I
It's
would say
fancy.
that the Warwick team is an extension of the AAMA team, and they really treat
Yeah.
this event as such, and they from the behind the scenes to the first time a guest opens the door, they are spot on
Yeah.
100% customer experience. And every single person in that building is trained that way. It's
It,
really they're
it
really
was
great to work with.
here's a behind the scenes peek. So Tina came to town and we saw lots of locations, but the Warwick had reached out immediately and had we were first on their list. They even housed Tina, like they knew what they were doing. And you know, Jim, you'll probably agree with me on this. There's no better person to sell to than another salesperson because we're easily sold. And so Tina knows this about me, and she gives me a look and she said, "Now play it cool when we're in here, Beth. I've got to negotiate all this stuff." And we go in and they just wow the socks off of us, and I'm just like, whoa. And she's patting me under the table, like, don't act like you like it too much. And I like it so much I can stand it. And we go down to the beautiful room that we're in to have the dinner, and y'all get to dress up fancy. You can dress fancy if you want to on the gala night. That's fun too. And we go in there and they got her because they had the charitable video playing. And I thought, now they
I could
got my
actually hear
girl.
the song when we were out in
Oh,
the foyer, and I'm like, that's our video song from the charity. Like that's our song. And then we walked in, and sure enough, it was playing on all the screens, and I
all the
was like, oh
screens
yeah.
and
Isn't
yeah,
it?
I know. And we went and saw another 5 locations and I was like,
Mhm.
so we did the Warwick, and I think you'll love it. I'm glad you mentioned that, Elise. It is a beautiful place, and
Yes.
if
Yeah.
you want to bring a spouse, this is the time to do it for sure.
And
So,
utilize the spa. They have an amazing spa.
oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do. I
Not
love a
during
good
education though,
steerage.
guys. Like,
Not
Yeah,
during education.
no, correct. Or the board meeting. And when we promise the board meeting's not going to be boring. It's really going to be fun. It's my last one, so I'm gonna. You've
So,
got my walk-up music, right,
so Dennis,
Elise?
there will be
I'm working
dancing.
on it.
And there's probably going to be dancing.
There will be
So,
dancing.
um, Jim, anything the audience from your perspective needs to know?
I just think, I would just emphasize, there's a lot of opportunities when you can network with people who share your common interest. And, you can find out from a different part of the country what somebody's doing you may have never heard of.
Oh yeah.
You can, what product is working in your machines, or how are you, changing your redemption counter and the merchandise behind the counter? How are you engaging your guests? I mean, there's so many discussions that happen about all these different facets, and I don't think you can really nail down a single one. But in that room with that crowd and those people, the opportunities to understand ideas that would help your business move forward.
Hmm.
It's really a very, very, very valuable event. So I would say,
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't even know what I didn't know. I mean, with you being at your first time last year, Elise, I know that was a great eye opener for you, and what a miss it was. I think the first one I ever attended was in 2017 or 2018, and the transformation that we've gone through is just significant. And yeah, uh, Dennis, anything you must be on the record?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we forget sometimes that part of AAMA's charter, I guess maybe that's not the right word, is the governmental affairs. And I think
Yes.
everybody found out in 2020 just how important
Oh,
relationships were on the Hill, at the State House, and different things like that. And
yeah,
so, number one, be reminded of that,
yeah.
but also then to listen to the stuff that I would have never cared legislation wise about, and then to hear our lobbyists talk about, well, this is why this relates to you, or this is why this, and have that connection was incredibly important. Getting to do the tour, obviously hosting it was a lot of fun, kind of. It was a little stressful too. But then getting to go over to the other location and see their place. At least you talked about you can close your eyes and think about my building. I can do the same thing over there. And I
Yeah.
can think
Oh, that's
about it was
awesome.
like looking
Alley
at the
cats.
party rooms and how they were set up
Yep.
and different things like that was like, oh, wait a second, we could do some of this. And that's what I love about this industry. You know,
Yeah.
at no point do anybody in the cinema industry go and tour other people's buildings openly. Um, it just doesn't happen.
So it's a clandestine activity, is what you're saying.
I've done a few walkthroughs in buildings without anybody
It-
knowing I'm in there.
Yeah, wearing the Groucho Marx glasses
Yeah, the
with
disguise.
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
mustache.
I'm in that industry. I'm not that popular. I can
Well,
go
you're
completely.
popular. You're popular with us. You're
Yeah.
popular with us. Very good. Well, listen, do we have some questions there? Or do we have links in the chat box?
That's the link to our website.
Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Well, if there are no other pending big things, I will say thank you for taking time to join us. If you've not registered, do it today. July 31st is the deadline. And unbelievably, July is trying to get finished as fast as possible. I have no idea how. It's the 22nd. Today is George Smith's birthday. If a random trivia fact there, happy birthday, George.
Mm.
Any final thoughts? Well, Tina,
I hope
you
to see
get
everybody out there.
Yeah.
very good. Thank you all.
Feel free
Thank
to
you.
reach out to
Thank
any of
you.
us if you have any
Oh my
questions
gosh.
too.
We didn't really let these people introduce themselves or anything, did we? I forgot
That's
that
okay.
part. All right. Well,
Well,
you
if
did
you want
say
to meet them, you'll have to come to Dallas to the annual meeting to
that's
get
it. That's
registered.
exactly why
And we'll
I did
happily
that.
introduce you to each and every one of them.
Yeah, you did say where everybody was from, so
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah,
Mhm.
very good. Well, thank you all. I appreciate the generosity of your time, coming to spend time with us today and to share with the audience. And audience, we thank you for coming, and we'll see you in Dallas.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Dennis, Doug, you take care.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.